This is episode 3 of sharing 10 lessons of how to use Audacity to get you to the place where you want to go. Today, we are going to be talking about having the audacity to be curious, and not the kind of curious that killed the cat, the kind of curiosity that's going to get you out of your comfort zone and force you to ask why. Now, it might seem daunting at first, but getting used to being uncomfortable will serve you well in the future. Growing up in a household where my family came to the UK as refugees, there was always this underlying rule of keep your head down, don't ask too many questions, and just get the job done. So when I started working, I did exactly that. But then my true self started coming out. You know, you can't really keep your inner thoughts in for too long. Once I qualified as a pharmacist, that kind of gave me the leverage to ask why. I wanted to know more. Why do we do things a certain way? Why are things done in a particular way? That seemed a bit archaic. And as you can imagine, some of these questions didn't really go down well in some of my workplaces. And in some areas, I was praised for asking a lot of questions. The point of asking why was to actually understand the purpose of why I was doing a certain job. Simon Sinek, the author of Start With Why, explains this really well. If you start with why, you know why you're doing something. You then know your purpose of why you're doing that thing. And when you know your purpose of doing that thing, you can then communicate that to others to bring them on board. So Simon Sinek talks about this in the way to build a business. You should always build a business with your why so that you can bring people on board, like I said, with your purpose, and you can then communicate that so they kind of jump on board too. And in that way, you can grow your customer base. Whether you are starting a new business and needing to pitch to investors or pitching a project to your team, giving them the understanding of why and the purpose of why you want to do something will bring them on board. Over the years, I have worked really hard on developing the audacity to ask why and use it as my superpower. It doesn't matter what room you're in, whether it's a room full of executives, your managers, your line managers, or just your friends. Always asking why always helps so that you can redefine the purpose of why you are doing something. And also it gets you seen, heard, and understood. In episode 4, where I talk about having the audacity to ask why, landed me a trip to Hong Kong with the UK Department of Business and Trade.